Hello and welcome back this morning. I'm on my way to go back to the spot I killed the last bird at. I just want to share with you a little bit the story of yesterday's hunt. I had a friend, and I ain't never killed a turkey before. He moved here from California and we worked together. And last year wasn't too hot for him. I had one come in, but the poor guy just happened to set up right in front of a big oak tree. Couldn't get a shot. Moved spots and come in behind us, and he couldn't get turned around. And that busted us. Moved a couple hundred more yards. So happened to come back again, and he couldn't get turned around and make his shots. I did. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to kill him. It just dusted the feathers off of him. That turkey lived to come back around another day. But yesterday, got up at 3:30. Was real amped up. So I'm just excited to see somebody else get one as I am for myself. I killed one there behind my parents 2 weeks ago, and I've only heard two gobble over there. So I was kind of afraid that there had only been one left. But surprisingly, yesterday morning when we set up, there's two gobble on the roost first thing. And it sounded like they was coming closer. We got within about 60 yards and you could tell they was going the other way in a hurry. But they was just non-stop gobbling yesterday morning. And just getting a little upset about it. I said, sometimes when turkeys here, turkeys in another location, a lot of times they'll come back. You just gotta be patient. About 2 hours later, it was starting to get cold. I said, well, let's move on down closer to water. Just as soon as I stood up, there was one clucking. I said, whoa, back down. And that thing was probably 20 yards from us and just over a crest, but he would not pop his head up. And it wasn't just a couple minutes later, one gobbled within about 40 yards and had a jake and a laying hen decoy out in the field. He just would not break out of them woods. There's a lone hen on top of a hill and didn't see her decoys. She came. Then that one we heard clucking came back, but he would not show himself. And that other one was gobble. I mean, this went on for 2 hours. It was getting cold, her feet was numb. My fingers were so cold I couldn't feel the striker in the pot in my hand. But just really soft clucks and purrs. Super, super quiet yelps, just as low as I could, but I'd only yelp about once every half hour, I guess. But I tried scratching the leaves, done everything. Then about another 30 minutes went on, and I don't know where this thing came from. I didn't even get to see it. But he gobbled. I bet you it wasn't 15 yards behind us. Could not move. And we was facing an open field. Here come three jakes. I believe they just probably hit adulthood from the looks of them. All three of them was fanned out, strutting. They beat her decoy up. And he asked if he could take one. I said, well, sure, it's your first turkey. Just get what you can get, and we'll go from there. Because right now, I'm kind of thinking them two gobblers that would not come in was probably beating each other up, and they was on the subordinate side and wasn't going to come any closer. So I'd never seen the boy shoot before, and like I say, he ain't never killed nothing before. And he shot, and I seen it go down. And them two jakes, they took off about 15 yards, and they stopped and turned around and come back. They were strutting around the laying hen decoy. It was funny, but they was mounting his dead turkey. Believe it or not, they was climbing up on that poor thing. was kind of hanging around to see if one of them gobblers had come out and maybe run them jakes off. I didn't want to get out and spook what we had going on, but I didn't want them to tear that turkey his up neither, so I said, well, let's just call it quits now and we'll go out and get it. Yesterday it was a good morning. Our adrenaline stayed up so high from them gobbling yesterday morning, it eventually just faded off, and I'd say for him it was like shooting on a paper target. It wasn't nothing. But so far it's been a great season for me. Last year was the worst I've ever had. That's one reason I stayed on the same gobbler the whole season. I'd shot him twice, believe it or not, and he kept coming back. And about after that second time, I've had him come in 30 or 40 yards, but just enough where he wouldn't pop his head up to get a shot on him. I think I've pretty well educated him. But the year before that was great. I know opening day, well, the day after opening day, it was Easter morning. I know I was sitting there thinking, you know, Lord, if you let me make this a quick hunt this morning, I'll be glad to get this thing cleaned up and go on to church afterwards. No more than I said that one gobble. Probably 60 yards in front of me. Just really light, soft cluck, some purrs. I could tell he was coming in, and I thought I heard something behind me. And there's one gobble. He was so close that I jumped. It scared me to death. Wasn't expecting that. Then I was tied up between two of them and couldn't move, so all I could do was hope for the best that one would get out of sight and one would get in sight. The one that was in front of me come down a little crest in the hill and went in front of me, and the one behind me, as soon as he went down the ridge, well, a little embankment in front of me, I knew I had something going. He turned to follow the other one. When he did, I waited for him to get behind a tree, put my gun up. He come through the tree there. I slugged him. But that was a really quick 10-15 minute hunt that morning, besides sitting in the woods in the dark for about an hour. But took him home, cleaned him up, got the tail fan off, pulled the breast, beard and whatnot, and I still had time to make it to church on time, so that was a really blessed morning for me. But right now, pollen is so bad. We went behind my parents again. It's a 15-minute walk, I guess. About 200 yards of open field and a few hundred more yards of woods. When we come out, the tops of my boots was yellow. I was like, man, almost looked like somebody had took a rattle can of spray paint, went across the top of them. I know last night my nose, my head was stuffy. I got up this morning feeling like crud. I know there's only 4 to 6 beautiful spring mornings in a year I get to do this, so that encourages me to get out of bed. I just love to see everything beautiful and greened out. Spring's here. The weather's fair for the most part. Some mornings this year and last year it's cold. Had to rethink how you dressed. But I always like to get in the woods at least an hour before daylight, set up. But about to my spot here now, so we're going to cut this video short. I'm sorry if the sound quality is horrible, but good luck this morning and thanks for watching.